It's Motivational Saturdays and Online Biz Real Talk, everyone. So, we have an incredible subject today, and I have a wonderful guest today. Our subject is what can a person do to set goals and follow through with them, which is so important nowadays. So many people are, trying to set goals, and a lot of times they don't follow through with them. They let things get in the way. Their job, they let their mindset, they let issues get in the way, what they're going through, drama, whatever it is, Instagram, Facebook, they let things get in the way. So we want to go over what can a person do to set goals, right? How could they follow through with them, which is, such a fitting subject for our business partner. Um, so let's invite her. Sandy, if you could turn your camera on, I'm going to invite you into the live. Hi, Sandy. How are you? You're on mute if you're trying to talk, by the way. You're on mute if you're trying to talk.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Did you want to put your camera on? I don't know if you know it's not on.
Oh, not today.
Not today. Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought, yeah, I thought we discussed that before we went on, but that's okay. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. But I know you're new, and just everything that I know about you, I really feel that this subject is so fitting for you because just everything we were just even talking about backstage. So first of all, why don't you introduce yourself, and then I'll ask you some questions.
My name is Sandy. I'm currently self-employed in construction cleaning. I have 4 children. I'm a single mom, and I live in Chilliwack, BC. And I'm just new at this business, but I am no stranger to it. I've been following um, maybe 5 to 7 people over the last 7 years in this business, and so I've been on the sidelines for quite some time, and I'm here. I'm finally here. I'm in the business, and I'm new and excited about it.
Love it, love it. Thank you. So you own your own company, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you own your own company. I loved what we were talking about backstage. It was like you were saying that you have to set goals, right? If you want to be as an entrepreneur. So yeah, tell us what can a person do to set goals, and how can they follow through with them? Like first of all, I guess what can a person do to set goals for themselves? We'll let it one question at a time.
Um, well, as an entrepreneur and business already, I feel like setting goals stems from a dream of what you would like in life. So I think when you're setting goals, you have to set goals as like what you're looking at, what you want to work towards, whether that being self employed, more freedom time, more income, things that give you freedom of some sort. So I believe you need to set some sort of goal in that arena where it pushes you to take steps towards when you do enter a business. It motivates you to take action like every single day. And I find when you're taking action, um, envisioning what you're going to do every day and kind of working through that, like role playing in your mind eye, like what you're going to do the next day. And then completing that. Kind of the same as like writing down goals and or even your to-do list every day. Definitely making that a priority in your life because life can take over. Life can be very busy if you have children or another job or something like that. Prioritizing and focusing and making it a priority. Because if you don't, it becomes something you put on the back burner and you don't address. And it's a tomorrow thing, and it's the next day thing or the next week thing. And it's really easy to do, and then it becomes a habit. So you want to implement the habit of making working towards your goals on a daily basis as a priority, is what I would suggest
I absolutely love
as
that.
an entrepreneur or in anything, in any realm, and in any kind of business.
I think as being a mom too, I was thinking about that. Like, just making goals is so important, honestly. And I know that, like everything you just said, it's such a no brainer. And me and you can talk about it right now. But for
Hmm.
people, yeah, for people to actually do it, like, how could you push yourself to do it? Like, for people who feel like they don't have time, they don't have the energy, they feel that, they can't accomplish it in a day. What would you advise them?
Like I mentioned already, like prioritizing it,
Yeah,
making it very important as like brushing your teeth. Like you have to put it at the top of your list. You have to make it as important as getting to the bank to put money in there to pay your rent or your mortgage. You have to look at it as something that you need to do if you want success, or if you want movement, or if you want growth. Just like if you're going to the gym and you want to see change in your body, you have to dedicate yourself. You have to push yourself. um, Hold yourself accountable in some way, you know. Um, it's,
100.
I have to say, like, it's not the easiest thing to do. It's something that everyone has to figure out what works for them. Um, some reading books to motivate yourself, or um, little tips and tricks if you're not a naturally motivated person to make changes in life, or if you're easily fall back into it, you know, your schedule and you don't have time. I think if you keep revisiting a dream or a goal and a desire, if you keep revisiting that and having a burning desire for that, it becomes easier.
That's such a good way to put it, because obviously, if you keep thinking about that goal, if you keep envisioning it, it's going to happen, and you're gonna make steps towards making it happen. Ah, I have my cousin-in-law, Jesse. How are you, Jesse? God bless you. How are you doing? How is my cousin, Chanel? So this is was a big envisionment for me. Like, this is just breathtaking, right? And I had a vision board with my like it showed like a $2.8 million house, dream home, and at the top was like this like beautiful water, it's the exact same colors as water and mountains around it. Like just a different picture, or just everything I had on the vision board came true. And I didn't expect, Sandy, for it to come true that quick. Honestly, I didn't. I
Mm-hmm.
thought, yeah, I thought we would have been moving like maybe in a eight or $900,000 home, or just something a little bit bigger than what we had, because I wanted to have like more space for the kids and stuff, and
Right.
just live, yeah, live in a different area. And when we moved into this home,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized the value of this home, and I also looked at the vision board, and it's crazy because the kitchen now the picture I have is like it's a picture of the kitchen leading into the kind of almost like into the living room, and the picture is all like exactly like bamboo color and gray and white like marble or granite countertops, and there's gold accents in it. And that's exactly the way my kitchen is. Like if you guys can even
Wow,
see it,
that's
I don't.
amazing.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. And then the water. So my in the back of my head or unconsciously, the goal was there. And every day I would still continue to strive towards my goals because I didn't want to be stuck at a 9 to 5. I didn't want
Right.
to be, yeah, I didn't want
Yeah.
my kids to be cared for by others.
That was my biggest burning desire when I first started my construction cleaning business was I was working at a concrete plant and I was being treated so horribly there. And at the time, my youngest was only 8 months old, and my dream was to have an income and be home with my kids. So that was like my burning desire when I first started. So that was what lit the fire under me initially. And I did everything. I was so motivated. I woke up every day when I came up with a business idea. I woke up every day and my focus was to accomplish that. And in my mind's eye, I already had. I was already that business owner. I was already accomplished. And from starting within the month, I had landed a huge project and I went from being a non-business owner to now self-employed with about 20 people working under me. And that came from that burning desire. It came from that desire of change and wanting to be with my children. And um, that's why I mentioned that desire. Like you have to have some sort of something that you really want and desire, and then it's really helpful because you keep that focus, and that's what keeps you motivated to keep going and going and going. So yeah, but and like if the question arises, okay, well, I'm self-employed now and I'm now joined the digital online marketing world. um like my new desire is to have a more automated online where I can do it from anywhere. That's my desire now, cuz to accomplish that. So, and this is why I'm here. But yeah, it boils down to like envisioning, having a desire, like having a dream of something that helps you be motivated. Because if you don't have something that you're so motivated to work towards, it's a little bit harder to get into it, I would say, for sure. So sometimes you have to revisit what your desire is and think about it, you know. I found that I had to do that with myself recently because I do have a time freedom. Like I can go take time off work because I have a crew. I can go to beach with my kids if I desire. But now my motivation is to move my income from the stress of running a crew to automated online and possibly going anywhere in the world. So that's my new desire. And I had to kind of like revisit what my new desire is prior to like coming on board, because I was on the fence for a while because I didn't it wasn't like I absolutely had to or jump into something that I wasn't totally knew that I wanted to do. But I had to revisit like what my new goal sets and my new desires would be, and that is what I came up with, and that is what made me come on board eventually because I eventually want to retire that business and I want to be automated. I want to be online. I want to have the freedom of doing it from anywhere. And I'd like to, I just feel like the business I'm in, there's a financial cap in it, and I want to grow that. I just feel like that there's I just felt there was more bigger opportunities out there where there wasn't a cap, and this was fitting for me. This business, this is why I'm here now, because I'm motivated to accomplish something that has no cap. You can grow it as big as you want. You can go you can. There's no limit, really. So that's really appealing to me.
100%, absolutely, and there is absolutely no limit. I had my coaches here yesterday, Sandy. You was on the Zoom, so you heard
Yeah,
their successes, and for them to have like it would take somebody literally like 6 months to make what they made in one payday. We was talking about like what
yeah.
was your yeah.
And I was glad that I was on that Zoom, and I'm glad some of the things that they said was don't, because I was a little bit saddened that they started around the time that I had an opportunity to get into this business,
Oh wow.
and I didn't. So I was a little bit sad that I didn't jump in then, and because I'd probably be in a different position in life now. But they made a couple um good points that I was like, yeah, that's right. Like, there's no time limit. You can't compare yourself to other people. And then when they mentioned, go at your own pace. Like, this isn't a race, one foot in front of the other. Like seeing other people get more accomplished faster in the business. It it should be just more motivating for you, but don't compare yourself to that. I've been in the business for about a month now, and I feel because I am running their business, I'm very busy. Like, I feel like, because I could have done this so much long ago. I kind of feel sometimes I get a little bit of anxiety, where I feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I should be already farther along. Like, I feel like I'm like should be more accomplished, and I'm like, I can only do what I can do, but as long as I do something every day, that's fine for me. I know that I will get there, and I know that things will fall into place, and I just had to. I'm glad that they made those comments yesterday, because I was like, yeah, that's right. Like, to because it's really important not to be negative in any fashion, like to keep your thought process um um not negative in any way, like very positive, like your mindset. So like, don't ever say to yourself, oh, I'm not doing enough. Just say, okay, I've done this and that's great, you know tomorrow I'll do more. Like, keep your mindset positive, your verbiage positive. um And if you do feel like you're not doing enough, let that be your flame on your butt, like your motivation, your personal motivation to you know. I'm not super great with words, but
No,
that's the best
you're
way that I can explain it.
girl, you hit the nail right on the head. It's exactly what needed to be said because so many people think the same way, and I can tell every time I'm talking with you. I can tell you're thinking I'm not doing enough. It's like yes, you are. You got your business up and running. Got your website. We're making an ad soon. Like you're doing everything that you need to do. You just
Yeah,
started.
and I know life can be hard, right? Like right now,
Yeah.
I'm going through a breakup right now. I'm pretty upset. I'm heartbroken
Mm,
right now. But sometimes life like drags you down, and sometimes you just gotta like grab hold of what's positive in your life. Like I'm the reason I'm not on camera right now because I just look horrible, right? But because emotionally I'm not
you
there.
never look horrible,
But the
girl.
reason I
Beautiful.
came on right now is because I have this positive forward motion business that I know is gonna be fabulous. So like I'm on right now to like bring myself out of that emotional space at the moment, right? So I think like just grab hold onto that. Like when life isn't great, focus on something that is.
Love
So
that.
And if you can have something that you work at every day, that's pretty easy. Um,
Hmm.
it should be motivating and uplifting to you, you know? So I would definitely like focus on it. If your life is not so great, like let it be your crutch of like giving you some happiness in life, because it definitely will. Every little bit of emotion, any little bit of thing you do every day, it's yeah, I did that. Like look at it like, yeah, I did that. It was maybe 20 minutes, but I did that 20 minutes, you know? That's what's important, right? We gotta look, just keep the positive aspect of it flowing, and it will
Well,
help you for sure.
100%. I love that. And, for you, that is so courageous of you to even, let us know that what you're going through. And it takes a strong person. And people think that others are weak when they let it out, I'm going through this. But that takes so much strength. And to be able to continue to work on yourself and your business and everything. Like, I went through the same exact thing, Sandy. Like, I went through a breakup not long after I started this business. And I was like, do I give up? No, I'm going to push through. And this is definitely something that's going to make me succeed even more, because I know that when I was with the person, I couldn't depend on them financially, and I sure know that me parting with them, I can't definitely put a finger on depending on them. So I know I need to grow this business at the top, because I have 5 kids, and my car's broken down, and this person's taking all the vehicles and taking all the values, and I know it. I'm not going to get anything, so I need to take this business seriously, and I need to work it like it's my baby, and I did,
Hmm.
and I skyrocketed, and I know I'm making probably 10 times the amount that that person makes. Even like, I'd even say 20 times, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm making 20 times the amount that person makes in one month. I make 20 times that amount in one month, and I'm not exaggerating. And
Good for you, Berta. You
amen.
know,
Yeah.
another little piece of advice I can give, um, which I think is very good advice actually. Prior to my construction cleaning business, I had another business, and I actually had I was quite young when I started it, and I had a penny patent for it and everything like that as well. And I find when you enter trying to be self employed in the business, you run into a lot of negativity. And sometimes it's from your family, your friends, like you don't have a lot of support. And when people see you starting to be trying to do something for yourself and growing something, you can't let that affect you. If anything, you have to let that be a fuel to your fire, you know? Because I know that it dragged me down in my first business, but I was quite young. I was very, very young. And when I started my construction clean business, I put that business on that back burner, and I grew this one. And I ran into the same negativity as well from my spouse, from my family. Everyone told me I couldn't do it. And I was like, I don't want to hear it. I was like, one of the first things we learn as a child is if you don't have anything to say, nice to say, don't say it at all. And you have all these adults around you trying to put daggers into your life and what you're trying to do, and like having that dream. Like I've always had the dream of being an entrepreneur as from very young feet. And I tried, and although I failed in my first business, I don't look at it as a failure because I learned a lot. And you can't put the fear of failure to stop you from doing things or even trying the business, because I mean it's not a failure if you even just try, you know. um, I tried and I learned a lot, so as long as you're learning, it's never a failure. It's never, never, never. And I would say, if in your life, I know that many people in this particular business that you're in and I'm in now, I know that a lot of people that are following had a lot of negative feedback from their very own spouses, and they just like push through and push through, and eventually they all see them growing in the business and being successful, and everyone's minds get changed. So keep that in mind if you're new or if you're on the fence. although I'm very new at this, just from experience in business, period, it's a very, very common thing to run into a lot of negativity. And the very cool thing about this business, that why I was attracted to Georgia as to have him as a mentor, is to I've never experienced in business to have someone, to have a mentor. Like to this day, even in business, I've been in it for 15 years, and sometimes I wish I had a business mentor to talk to, or about business. And although I've tried, I still don't. So like I everything I learn about business is like reading or YouTube or anything like that. So what's great about this business, which is very rare, you don't get in any kind of business at all, is mentorship. And um the mentor wants to be your mentor because your success is their success. So, and to have like mentorship and potential friendship in business and be able to talk business with people, because when you're in the business world, you don't know a lot of business owners. It's a very lonely world because your topic of conversation that you would love to have, you can't with an average person that has 9 to 5 jobs. Like they don't have that business, they don't talk business, right? So that's what's really I have to say. Like, um, don't let negativity get in your way. And if you're thinking of getting into something online, this is great for like you have mentorship, which is you can't even put a value to that. Like that is enormous. It's huge to be able to at your fingertips ask a question, or if you need help, it's there. So that's huge because I've never had that in business ever. I've always had to rely on myself. I'll ask advice from family maybe, but they can only advise you so much because they're not in business. They go to a 9 to 5 job, and that's their world, right? They don't know anything about business. They can't advise you. But to be in a business where you could be advised at any time, that's phenomenal. That's huge. And I'm looking forward to that aspect of this business because maybe I won't feel so lonely anymore in the business world. I'll have people to talk business with, you know?
Well, you have all of us or your family, and that's what one of my business partners, Sarah, was just saying. And she was like, "I miss you. I'm back," because she was busy with a few things, and she's like, I have a family. I realized I have a family, and I loved you as my coach and mentor, and I have a family in this business. I missed all of you, and it's true. Like we have a chat here in Kelowna, and we're all so close here in Kelowna. Like there's people that are I'm in West Kelowna, and then there's a few business partners in Kelowna. Then my business partner rents for me, and then there's someone in Lake Country. So we all are around, and Paul and Helena, my coaches, are in Summerlin, and we're meeting up and we're hanging out. We got our chat, or it's like, and we're meeting up for beaches. We're meeting up for dinners. We're hanging out. We're like, why not hang with each other? We're all like minded. We talk about our ads, we talk about our successes, and we're just chilling. Why not have a freedom lifestyle and hang out with some of the most incredible people in the world? Because you meet the most incredible people in the world that has been through so much. Like me and Sandy, just what we're talking about right now. Like we've been through a lot, and she is, and I was at my wits' end, and I wanted to change, and I got it, and I pushed through, and you're so right. Everything that you said, Sandy, I can't even top or even comment on it because it's exactly what everybody needs to hear. It's simple. Don't let people get to you. Don't let them drag you down. I've been through it. I literally exactly the spouse, the family, the surroundings. And the funny thing is just before we got on, I was telling her, do you know my some of my closest friends and family, my closest sisters are in this business, and they literally a lot of the closest people that are in this business was the ones who were judging me, and I'm not shy to say it, and they joke about it now because they thought it was a pyramid scheme, they thought it was an MLM, they thought it was just nothing. Hi baby, I'm almost done here, okay? So long story short, there's my Violet. I'm taking her to the library soon, and we're gonna go to the beach and read the book at the library at the beach, right?
Mom, I wanna go to the fun four place instead.
No, no, you already chose because it's her day today.
No, I
So
didn't. But I didn't
you
choose.
didn't choose the 4
Yeah,
place.
I did,
No, you
Mom.
didn't.
I did last night.
Well, we already made our day today. So maybe next time, okay?
No, but
Maybe
Mom,
Sky's
I
gonna
did
go.
say.
So next time.
Mom,
Tomorrow.
I said it last night.
Well, we chose this, okay?
That's not what I chose.
Okay, well when I'm
No.
done the live, we'll talk about it. So every day we're having well, maybe not every day, maybe every other day, depending on what we're doing. One kid gets to choose. It's their day. Still kind of what they do.
That's
So look at it
great.
with this freedom lifestyle, but then you get into little hiccups like that. Like, I want to go there. I didn't want to go there. Oh, the problems with freedom lifestyle with these children. Um,
Mom, tomorrow's gonna be my
That's
day.
so
so
they,
great though what you're doing, Georgia,
Mom,
because kids
yeah,
tomorrow's gonna
remember
be
that
my
one-on-one time with their parents, you know?
yeah,
They
yeah,
they really when they're all grown up, they'll remember the time you set aside for them
yeah.
individually. That's phenomenal. That's what you're doing.
Thank you. I love it, and it's fun for me. I'm like a big kid. Anybody that knows me, I will enjoy Disneyland probably more than these kids. Or, it's always a joy. Everything's a joy for me,
That's
and I
awesome.
absolutely, yeah, I love spending time with them. It's a joy, and I can't see why parents or people want to, certain people I see they don't want to deal with their kids, and I'm like, I love my kids. Yeah, sometimes they get a little noisy and whatever. I have my alone time on my laptop. That's what my alone time is, because I work on my business. But
I'm really glad that you
yeah,
brought up this joy topic
yeah,
because that's the other thing that attracted me to this business. And watching you is a lot of time in life when when you're stressed and like your job and everything like that, it's really hard to focus on being joyous, enjoying moments. And for a family atmosphere when you have children, that always suffers the most in life, I find. um, is the joy is robbed when you're worried about money, making ends meet, and life is stressful. Like that always is what suffers. Is to be joyous and to enjoy life and your time with your kids. 'Cause it's so precious. Like they grow up so fast. Like my kids are range in age from 5 to 20, and just about 20 in August, and it's it's so fast. They go from little to fast in such a short time, and it's a shame to like have that pass by with money stress or not able to even just enjoy life or have some sort of joy, you know. So yeah, I'm glad you brought up that because I feel like that's a big thing that attracted me to this business too. Although I'm self-employed, there's a lot of stress involved. I'm trying to separate myself from stress. I'm trying to move from like the time freedom, but now time freedom without the stress, you know? So that's my focus. And that's part of the goal there in this
I
business
love
for
that.
sure.
So where, like, if you're busy with your business, or do you do a lot of things from your home, like your cleaning construction business? Where does your children go, or do you have help with your children?
Currently during the summer, when the kids are in school during the year,
Yeah.
I have to be there for them. I choose to be there for them. My income might be a little bit smaller, but I'll be there for them. But in the summertime, when they're off school, I spend time at because some of my big jobs are far away from home at the moment. So I'll spend time at my mom's and she'll watch my younger children while I go to work
Hmm.
and run things. But I'm lucky to have that. But in general, I am home for my children. But um, then there's a financial sacrifice there that I choose though, because I want to be there for my kids versus having more income. But that's the other thing that's attracted me to this business is I can work and be with them at the same time, you know. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm
that's
really
what
excited about growing this business as well. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you're gonna have a lot more. You're gonna have a lot more time with your children, and A lot of times people like, as I was talking with my coaches last night and you were there, like they could have stopped working right away, and they decided to continue to work just because they were living a certain lifestyle and they wanted to continue to support that lifestyle. But the thing is if you're living, just an average lifestyle, you can retire pretty quick, right? If you're, you're living off of the means you're
Hmm.
making in business, you can retire pretty quick. And I've seen that. I've seen people retire from their job in a couple of months. I've seen it 6 months. I've seen people a year. It depends on how much money you need to,
Hmm.
yeah. So, and then you could be home with your kids. And not only are you going to
Yeah,
retire, as,
I saw the same.
yep, yeah. So, are you okay?
Sorry. Yeah, I've seen the same. When I first, like I said, I was on. Yeah, because like I said, I was on the sidelines of this business for about 7 years, but um, before jumping into something, I wanted to make sure it worked. But the people that
You
I
waited
did
a long
follow,
time, girl.
one lady,
Seven
she
years is
was
too long.
a secretary in the oil. Yeah, I know, right? But I watched her. She was making about 60,000 a year, and she quit her job in about 6 months. And now, I don't know how high up she is, but I think she's at a point where she doesn't. The business is running in the background completely because she's like traveling the world, and that's all I see now is her traveling the world. Like that's all I see her doing,
Yeah.
and she's quite young. And yeah, she's one of the first ones I started following.
Wow.
There's another lady I followed. I watched her over a course of 3 years quit 3 jobs, and this is all she does now. And
Yeah.
she lives in Vancouver. It's a very expensive area to live in, but yeah, she I watched her quit like 3 jobs. I watched another couple too. Same thing. I think they quit. Uh, or the wife started the business, but she was able to retire her husband within like 18 months of starting this business because he worked away from home. And she was working hard to bring him home so they could be family. And yeah, and now he's in the business too. And this is all they do now. So yeah, I've just a few more stories. I can't quite remember all of them at the moment,
Wow.
but
That's
it was
awesome.
very, I like I said, I've been following people for quite some time. I know that it works if you dedicate yourself, but in any business, if you dedicate yourself and work at it every day, that you will
Yeah.
be successful. Yeah.
The biggest thing that messed me up in the beginning, Sandy, was not working on my business enough. I would have been a lot more successful a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Now I have no regrets of everything. Like I understood I needed to just, you know, go through what I went through. Like I was just going through a lot when I first started this business. And just own personal issues and relationship issues. So long story short, I didn't put enough time into it because of the skepticism in the home of this business, blah blah blah. And I would have been making a lot more money a lot more quicker. But I realized that everything happens for a reason. So I tell all my business partners the same thing. If you put an hour into this business a day or every other day, you're going to reap what you put in. But if you put in 2, 3 hours a day or every other day, you're going to succeed a lot more quicker, and you're going to get to where I am a lot more quicker and above and beyond. Because just like you said, Sandy, there's no limit. There's no limit to what we're doing. Like you can retire and still get higher, right? You can still grow. It's not like you're going to retire and then, oh, I think Sandy got cut off. She'll come back on. But it's not like you retire and then you're stuck and you're like, okay, I'm retired and I can't make no more than what I'm making right now. That's not true. You can make tons more, and you just keep on going. You just keep on working on your business. That's all. And it's simple. All you do is just advertise. All you do is just set up ads, and the system runs for you. So once your ads are set up, somebody sees your ad, they click on the the ad. It takes them to the website we create you, and there you go. You got everything set up for you. You don't have to reach out to people or bug people. We set you up. Sandy, you left us for a moment. Can you hear us? We're having some technical difficulties. Well, I won't keep you guys much longer. I guess in a nutshell, to answer the question on how I would put it, what can a person do to set goals for themselves and follow through with them? I would say it's very simple. Vision boards. I love vision boards, and I write things down on like maybe 3x3 or 2x3 cards. You write your goals down and you read them every so often. You even put them under your pillow and you sleep on them. You put it at your mirror and you literally read it out every day when you first wake up. I have it. I'm a spiritual happy billionaire, and I add helping people worldwide, and that's my goal, to help people, like not just with this business, but build up their developing areas in countries that are needing help, and my people, my Roma people, and just there's so much. I have too big of a goal to stop now. Nothing could stop me, and nothing is going to stop me. I'm going to excel above and beyond than anybody could ever have imagined. But I have imagined it, and I know I'm going there, and I'm already there. I believe it. And I got something that's making me drive like a rocket. And it's not a car, it's not a ship, it's not a plane, it's a rocket. And rocket man. I'm getting there. And I got there very quick, and everybody around me sees it. And they're very surprised that I did it in the online world, because a lot of people thought it was a scam or a pyramid scheme. That's another thing. Little tip out there. This is not a pyramid scheme, and this is not a scam or MLM. Therefore, it's going to take some time for you to make the big money if you put your time into it. But you're going to get there a whole lot quicker than that job, that brick and mortar business, meaning that business that has walls and bricks and is in one secluded area. You're not in a secluded area. You're open to billions of people worldwide in any country, all over the world. So God bless everybody. Make those goals happen. Follow through with them by waking up every morning, reading your goals out, believing and receiving, believing in yourself that you could accomplish anything. If I can do it, a mom of 5 with only a 7th grade education, you can do the same. Just believe. So, guys, if you want more information, go to georgiawilliams.ca. Add your name and your email, and I'll send you my workshop I hosted. And you'll explain everything, how we'll get you started, what you're going to be doing, what we're going to build you, how the system runs for you, everything. And if you want, you sign up and you see the products. You see the multi-billion-dollar company we're affiliated with, and a few other multi-million-dollar companies we're affiliated with. These are very high-end products that convert to high revenue. And it's awesome. It's awesome. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. If you see this live on any one of our business partners' pages, go ahead and reach out to them, and they'll send you to workshop. That means I mentored them to literally help others to get started. So God bless you all. Love you. Bye, Sandy. I don't know if you could still hear us.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm back. My phone died. But thank you so much. I think I'll try the vision board.
I think my mic lost connection for a moment. But what I was going to say is, bye, Sandy. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything. If you can't hear us and you're watching this on the replay, your testimony, your advice, it was just absolutely amazing, and so many people needed to hear this. God works in mysterious ways. So, thank you. Love you, girl. Bye, everyone. See you next time.